Welcome to the Travel Agency Near podcast. I'm your host, Rachel K, and I am on day 53. Woo woo. And so are you if you're listening. Day 53 is tips to stay organized as a travel advisor. Oh man, there's a lot of different ways people can organize things. I like to refer to myself as Doc Brown. It is a crazy mad scientist lab, but I know where everything is. But if you saw my office, you'd be like, this is not organized. It is for me. But we're going to get into tips to staying organized and the why and just some things you can consider if you're just like, I feel so overwhelmed. So, why do you want to stay so organized? It saves time, it saves money, and it saves your sanity because you know where things are. You know where things are found in your software, like your Google Drive, so on and so forth, and then things in your office space. You can get more accomplished because you don't have to spend time being like, where did I put that? Where is this email? What is this? There's far less risk for error when you are organized because you can easily retrieve important information regarding your client's trips, supplier policies, resort or cruise line information, things like that. So for me, number one, time blocking. It keeps me on task, so I stay organized that way. And I'm a huge fan of time blocking. I'm going to mention it over and over and over again in many different episodes of this podcast. I think it's very important, and there's different ways to do it. Previous episode, I kind of did an in-depth version of time blocking and different methods you could implement. Having any kind of system, a set system, just the same thing for everybody, right? Don't delineate from your systems. Those are my go-tos. Everyone sets them up differently, so I can't say what works for me works for you, right? However, having systems, time blocking is very, very, very like basic foundations of keeping your business organized. I mentioned CEO time when I'm time blocking, and that's the time where I make big decisions in my business, whether it's weekly, monthly, or on a quarterly or even annual basis. I don't stop what I'm doing to make decisions, and we'll talk about time efficiency in future episodes and why you don't want these interruptions. I make note of it and dedicate about 90 minutes each week to just sit and look at everything. And this is across all of the different organizations I have and make decisions on what are the most important things this week, what needs to happen over this month, quarter, so on and so forth. It's not just a to-do list though. You should be scheduling time to make these decisions in your business every single week and then do it on like weekly tasks once a month, make it a monthly review, quarterly, and an annual review. Obviously, the quarterly and annual review is going to be more time than just the weekly and monthly. And it needs to be prioritized. I do recommend scheduling it separately from everything else that you're doing instead of, like I said, disrupting your current tasks to be like, well, now what do I do? It'll help you assess what your goals are for that time frame and what you really need to focus on as an organization. And it's especially helpful as you grow, if you hire, so on and so forth. Update your online calendar for every single meeting. This is another tip to stay organized, including your lunchtime and your time to take care of your health. Doctor's appointments, block off time to meditate, block off time to do some exercising. Even if it's just 15 minutes a day, block it off so you can stay more organized and you can take breathers, like your break times. Give yourself breaks each day. Schedule, everything's on my calendar. And then I really honestly only have like 2.5 afternoons, like 2 afternoons, and then like one morning each week that's just like open for appointments. And then a couple of evenings just in case. But everything else is like my day is scheduled. And then when I don't have any consultations, I'm like, cool, I can work on these things or whatever. Go to bed early if I want to. Okay. Writing things down by hand. If you're watching this on YouTube, you see I have my handy dandy notebook and I always have a pen in my hand. Why do you want to write things down by hand versus writing it on a tablet or typing it out? It has been proven in multiple studies to help with your memory retention, sorry. So I would highly recommend any trainings you do, any meetings you have with clients, with BDMs, whatever, have a notebook, have a pen, and take notes. That way, you're going to remember it much better. And one interesting thing, so like tablets, you're like, well, I can write on a tablet, but you can't see because tablet's like a never ending piece of paper. You can't remember exactly where in the paper it was. So you have a harder time recalling what that information is. Whereas if you're writing it down, you're like, I know in the center margin, like on the right hand margin in the center of the page, I made this note, and you're going to be able to recall it much better. And so that's going to help you stay organized as well. Don't overload on the apps on your phone, on your desktop. Keep it simple. Okay. If you have all these different apps, then you're not going to be able to. If you do have a lot of different apps and software, because we do have to use several different products in our business, like Turn is like a nice all in one thing, right? But definitely get a password protector so you can have that all organized there if you have so many different apps that you use to run your business. But don't have all your little social media fun apps in like accessible on your tablet or your desktop if you use that for work as well. I would also say put it in a folder on your phone and hide it from yourself so that you have to find that. I don't know. I like to organize all the apps on my phone based on the category into little folders so that I can access all work related apps, all financial related apps, all communication related apps that way. And you can put apps in your different folders. You can put the same app in two different categories if you use it for two different reasons. Email yourself. I do this all the time. Email yourself anything that you need to take care of. Like, say you're out at the grocery store or whatever, send yourself an email. Not necessarily a voice note because you will forget to check your voice notes if you're anything like me. Send yourself an email if you're out and about running errands or like picking your kids up from school and this idea pops into your head. Email it to yourself so that the next day you're going to see it in your inbox and be like, oh, okay. Or the next time you check emails, like for example, if you're running morning errands, you have this idea and you have on your schedule to check your emails at 3 p.m. Then you'll see it at 3 p.m. and be like, oh, yes, that awesome idea I had. Now I can't forget about it because it's in writing in my inbox. Then you can write it down from there when you want to expand on that idea. And this could just be like social media ideas. This could be a new workflow automation you want to add. This could be maybe you've been waffling on signing up for a new product or service to help your business, and you're like between two different organizations that can help you or services. And you have the idea of like, oh, this will help me the best this way. So that way, when you have your time set aside to make those decisions, you'll have that noted. I think paper files are a mess. I like the thumb drive. I like the Google Drive. I like the CRM files. Paper files are a lot of paper and ink that you have to buy, and file cabinets and just space and clutter. There are a lot of apps that can, even if you have physical receipts for work, you can take a picture of them and it'll categorize into your accounting software. So that way you don't have to have all these paper receipts of everything. I just think paper files are a mess. Because I don't like paper files. You can fight me on it, you can love it. That's fine if that's your organization system. Okay, so those are some tips on how to stay organized. If you want to, you can comment if you're watching this on YouTube, which one you found to be the most helpful. This was a very quick episode. Um, I think for me, the most helpful one outside of time blocking and having systems is put everything on my calendar. So I can just look at it every morning. I don't have to try and remember where's that posted of this meeting or whatever. I put everything on my calendar. Everything I do, it's on my calendar. Even my free time when I don't want to be bothered. I put Rachel time. Rachel time starts at 3 p.m. on Friday. Better be done with all my work by then. All right. I hope you found this episode helpful. If you have a travel advisor friend who is struggling to stay organized and is just like, I don't even know how to get started, please share this episode with them. Otherwise, have a good day.